So here we are out in the Kelvin lab again, and whenever we shoot a video out here, you know what that means. It's time to check the Tattler lids. And so that's what we're going to do first of all. So they are still right here where they have been since Halloween. It is now April the 2nd, so we're 5 months into our experiment. And remember what we did was that I previously used regular flats, and then I used the Tattler gasket, or the ring as they call it, and created a great big brouhaha in doing so. But nevertheless, I promised that we would test this for a year. So we're 5 months in. I originally did 30 pints of vegetables, and last Christmas time when I was so sick and Jim came out here to grab some things to fix dinner for us, he accidentally picked up a couple of the jars of Tattler carrots and corn maybe. So we're down to just 28. So it's the same 28, and what I do is every month I just tap on the lids to see if they are still holding. And remember, they would give that funky sound like that if they had broken seal. So these 4 are okay. So let's check all 12 of these. All good. And these 12. All good. So we're 5 months in and everything is still holding well. All right, I have some book news. We've had a little snafu. Cindy and I have finished our part. All of the photography is done. The compiling of everything into the format needed for the book has hit a little bit of snag in terms of an equipment failure. And so we're set back for a little bit. The prediction is that it's not going to be too long. So keep your fingers crossed. We are really hoping we're going to have it out by May. So that's a little bit later than we hoped, but it should still be out. Also, I want to give an update on our class. I have completely finished all the planning of the lessons, and Jim and I have done all 15 brand new videos that are going to be part of that class, and they will be exclusively for that class. And we have hired a consultant to get it onto a learning platform for us so that it will be a very easy thing for anyone who wishes to take the class, and it is water bath canning basics. We're also hoping to open that class before summer, and it will be open for 30 days, and it's self-paced, and I'll be giving more information about that as we get closer to the time. So now I have a follow-up on our video earlier in the week where we unpacked my vehicle emergency kit. One of the things that we noticed was missing was some kind of a little stove. So I ordered one, and it came. And I also got this little kit. This is a Stanley, and I'll put the link below. It came with these 2 insulated cups, a little bit different than the cups that we usually get. So these would be really good. I could use this to boil the water over the stove. I'm going to show you here in just a minute. And then we could have our hot beverage or soup or the beef stroganoff that's still in our emergency kit. And then someone noticed that we did not have any eating utensils. Well, that was a really good catch. And so I have those on order, and they should be here soon. So this little compartment is really nice and will heat water for us. Now, this is the little stove that I found. I'll put the links to these things in the bottom of the video too, but you know that you can find whatever you wish in this area. This is a little, what I call a raptor stove. It has these little wings like raptors, and it folds out like this. Is that just cool? And it would go on the top of this squatty gasoline can. I'm not going to put it on all the way because I don't want to break into the gas. It has a piezo lighter, so I just would twist that and it would light, and then this would cook beautifully just like that if we were in an emergency situation. So I just wanted to show that to you. And now I have some really big news. Well, I think it's really big news. Jim and I have decided to start a web page, a website, Rose Red Homestead website. We have had so many requests for, is there a place that we can go to get your recipes? Is there a place where we can go to get this? And so I've decided to go ahead. We had a website for a really long time, for the 10 years that we were selling snakes. And I've mentioned the fact that for a decade, Jim and I did selective breeding of ball pythons and sold them all over the country. I was in my glory. I loved genetics, and I loved dealing with those snakes, but we sold that business when we moved down here about 10 years ago. And so I ran that website and did everything, and boy, have things changed in the past 5 years. So I'm on my learning curve, and it may take me a couple of weeks to get it up, but it's just going to be a website that will give you up-to-date information about our book, and probably we will sell the book on that website. Oh, one more thing about the book. We've decided to release it in 3 formats. One will be a downloadable PDF, especially for those that live overseas and it costs so much to do shipping overseas. One will be spiral bound. Those 2 we've announced before. The 3rd format is going to be, it will be shrink wrapped. The spiral bound and the shrink wrapped copy are going to be 8.5 by 11. And this will be 3 hole punched, shrink wrapped. So when you get it, you take it out of the shrink wrap, you provide a notebook or a folder, a binder for it, and that way you can slip things right in that notebook. So we'll have, I think, 3 options for you from which to choose, and we'll have information about our class there, information about the book on the website, and probably a little store where we're going to sell the book. We won't be selling much, just things that we produce ourselves. And then I'm going to have some free downloadables, and then some recipes, and it's going to take a little while. When I launch the website, it's going to be a baby website because it's going to take a long time to add everything that I'm hoping to add. And I'm still working full-time, but I'm building it now because we're hoping that once I retire, which is still a ways away, I will have a lot more time to devote to things like a website. And so I'm setting the foundation now. So once we launch that and give you the URL, then don't expect it to be this great big thing all at once. It will build as we go, and we'll offer more and more things. So I think that's it for our updates and our news. So thanks for joining us on this micro moment, and we will see you next time.